Is this like a bait thing? Are they forcing UDV to take it? And have they got a plan up their sleeves? Is there a hero they should pick up right now on TNC's end?
It definitely could be a bit. I can see a Monkey King working well. I can see a Ursa working well. Because when you're playing Dragonite plus Tiny, these two heroes are quite similar, right? You are super tanky, and it means that you're exposed to the same kind of counter as well. Oh, Necroforce.
Wow.
Oh, I'm exciting now. And this is definitely something that they have thought it through. Because in this case, right, Necroforce very good against both Tiny and Dragonite. Because they two share the same weakness, they are all countered by Necroforce.
It's going to be an interesting game here between TNC and UDV for this game too. You know, Necrophos is another one of those heroes. I'll be honest, Arthur, I haven't been seeing him winning much as of late, so I'm very intrigued to see if TNC can make it work. But I've been so impressed with your predictions. I'm going to ask you, you said Monkey King. If Monkey King's banned, what else? What's TNC taking?
I feel like knowing Young God, you can go for Terrorblade, which is why UDV banning out straight. Any heroes that can once again buy Skadi is really good against these two heroes, or Silver Age. So I can also see something like a PA working well here for TNC. I feel like they've got quite a few options, especially knowing that they have the last pick. So I think this is where UDV, their idea of this game is basically out here already. You're playing around Dragonite, Tiny, and War Spirit. And it seems like they are lacking of a position 4 out of 5 here. And TNC is thinking that could be a position 4 because they banned out the Monkey King.
Interesting. Well, final ban outs here, UDV. They got rid of the TB. Another Eye of Skadi carrier perhaps to be banned out here by UDV. Only 10 seconds to think about this one. Oh, they'll get rid of the Void.
True. It's been so long since you see the Phaser Swipe plus Invoker combo. I actually forgot about this.
Of course. How could we? The Cataclysm, the double Cataclysm, the Meteors. Yeah, that would have been pretty powerful. TNC, one more ban for themselves now. It does seem like we're perhaps just lacking a support here for UDV as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Isn't Oracle look pretty good here for UDV? You can save the target that's getting Fin Script. You can save for Necroforce Reaper side as well. Not to mention Fortune Sense is a really good debuff here. Dispel here for Cold Snap, for even dispelling the Necroforce Ghost Shroud as well.
They banned Razor. So do they assume support Tiny or something? Or Razor ban?
Yeah, they're probably thinking about... Oh, this is quite smart actually. So they're actually banning carries from TNC. So they know that UDV seeing that Tiny is going up against Invoker and Necroforce, it's quite likely that they will swap the role. So they are not giving any good options for the carry role. So they are basically forcing Tiny to be on the carry role, which they would be happy about. UDV with the A8 or something that we don't see very often, but it's definitely a direct counter to Necroforce. My only question is it worth it though? Because Necroforce at the end of the day, he's just a position 3.
It's interesting. I mean, the AA, like you said, not very popular. Does deal with the Necrophos very well, but it's just a pos 3. It may not be that important. And TNC, more importantly now, what's the pos 1 we're looking for this side? I think you mentioned... Yeah?
Sorry. Yeah, one value that you are picking A here is that you are hindering the Ursa pick coming from TNC. I think seeing this A, you wouldn't want to pick Ursa. So probably you want to pick a carry that would like to purchase early BKB. I'll say PA looks really good here. It's hard, man. It's really hard to pick a carry into an AA nowadays. There's very limited carry that can really be comfortable going up against AA. The best one is probably the Spectre or the Terrorblade. Terrorblade is banned already, so they go for Wraith King. Oh.
So I guess you get through the first life with the Ice Blast, but he's got a secondary life, and maybe that's the idea. I thought maybe we could see something like a Life Stealer come out, but that never happened. Instead, Wraith King, why the hell not? It does seem pretty potent, even in this current meta. What are you thinking, though, Arthur? I mean, UDV, again, they're one game down right now. They want to force us to a game number 3. Is this the draft to do it? Have they got the better draft, or do you think TNC's got the better end of the stick this time?
I feel like TNC definitely forced UDV out of their comfortable zone, and I feel like with this Wraith King, it covers the weaknesses of their draft. They are lacking of a blink initiation hero. They are lacking of a body as well. Normally, you don't want Necroforce to be the only frontliner, especially when you get countered by the AA. So they come out with another form of it. And Wraith King, you can definitely play the long fight a little bit well here. I feel like Invoker is the biggest winning condition here, and Wraith King is just the decoy for him. Because if you look at this game, Invoker can easily carry this game against Dragon Knight, Tiny, and West Spirit. There's not much threat, especially Yue being such an fantastic Invoker player. So I think I'll side with TNC a little bit. I love Necroforce here against the Tiny and Dragon Knight, but I feel like this draft is super solid.
Okay. Well, there you have it. TNC coming up with a very nice draft. UDV, maybe perhaps not in their comfort zone, but we'll have to see what they can get done. As again, the backs are against the wall here for UDV, and well, this is their debut series here in the DPC Div 2, so definitely wanting to try and get some wins under their belt ASAP. The TNC with their debut roster as well, obviously very important for them to get off to a good start here in the DPC Tour 2. And we should be getting underway very, very soon for game number 2.
And also, right, knowing how good RSG is doing, I think if you're a TNC, you probably are feeling the stress and also pressure already. Because everyone right now on social media is saying that RSG, Talent, these two teams are going back to Division 1. And if you're a TNC, you're sitting right there, you're definitely not feeling too good seeing all these comments. So I feel like TNC, they looking at this, more so or not, I think they are motivated. I think they're motivated to prove themselves. So this game, I think, is what, I feel like TNC is going to be explosive with this draft that they have.
I'd love to see that. I do look forward to a very exciting game. I mean, last game, number 1, it was a very slow start for the first 15 minutes, but this time around, we might have a bit of a different story coming up from these two teams. As we'll see if we have any kind of level 1 clash. I mean, both teams are 5-man smoked right now, running right into each other, so we might very well have a very early first blood to come out, depending on who hits where. Febby gonna break his smoke. Rupido, we'll see him. JG holding his ground as they do move in now onto the Bane. Febby, he's gone too far. He should be the one to die, but the Nightmare does buy a bit of time. He's still alive. Heal is there. Febby, how do you get out of this? He's out of there. He is not died. And UDV, they'll turn around now and run for their lives as TNC are gonna chase them down. They've got the cold snap out, but the Sikuchi is there in time. Arthur, how the hell does Febby just walk out like that?
You know what, Mike? It's a classic problem. Everyone is being too nice. Everyone wants to be selfless. They want to give the last hit to the most important person. But everyone is just like, oh, you're gonna get it? I'm gonna get it? No, you're not gonna get it. And when they realize it, it's too late. This is why sometimes, in a team, you want someone to be a little bit selfish. You want someone that doesn't care, or you want someone that brings a little bit of ego in the team. And it seems like we are lacking a little bit of that from UDV here, looking at this very first scrimmage.
Well, the selflessness is, I suppose it's great to see, but at the same time, not so great for UDV, as Febby going to be a bit of a nuisance here in this mid lane. Look at this. Few right clicks, few arrows coming out, just giving him the worst start possible on this Void Spirit. And, these kind of plays, they don't seem so high impact, but they are great, as Febby just immediately denies himself off on the Bane. And he's just given a great start here for Yue.
Oh, I realized they love to do this thing from TNC, yeah? Because the last game they were doing the exact same thing as well, pushing Morphling out of the lane. And this time around, the target is JG. So, pretty interesting strategy coming out from TNC here.
Ulti. Oh, goodness, 25 HP that AA survives on down a bot lane. Very, very close call. And I guess while we're here, we may as well talk about the bot lane where you've got Bok and Carlo against Teehee and, of course, Ken. Now, you mentioned to me that the AA, it's a bit of a weird pick. We don't get to see it very often. How does it do in lane against Carlo and Bok?
Oh, this is a tough lane for the UDV boys, I would say. You are tiny, you're up against two range heroes. They are very happy to just right-click you down. I feel like at one point, this is the kind of lane they say, you are going to be like, alright guys, I'm done, I'm out. And AA, not exactly the best hero to handle the dead lane. So I feel like this bottom lane is something that UDV need to actively communicate about and maybe pull some numbers in, especially when Westbridge gets a good power in.
Certainly so. I mean, could be dangerous times here. Bok almost finding a kill straight off the bat. Very, very scary indeed. Back to that mid lane. JG and Yue, we kind of saw how bad of a start JG had but he is still farming very, very effectively on this Void Spirit, already on top of the CS board. I think we kind of talked about this as well, but you do expect JG, at least in terms of CS, to be able to kind of outdo Yoe on the Invoker.
Yeah, for sure. This is Quas Exalt Invoker actually.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't expect this. So by, you know, when he get more level, I think this lane is actually going to be a lot better. Like I say in drafting phase, right? I feel like Wraith King is a decoy. You want your Invoker to be winning condition, and he's already building into one. And I've spoke about this a lot of time in my previous cast. I say Invoker Quas Exort is the real deal. And I talked to Alacrity about this as well. He also is one of the rare Invoker players that still go for Quas Exort. So this is definitely a very fun game to be witnessing.
Certainly so. Of course, that final lane up at top lane, you've got Young God and Febby against Rupido and Lucify. This lane, it feels like it probably will be the boring lane again. You've got a Dragon Knight in this lane, so chances are it's going to be very, very boring. Still, do you think the advantage goes either way here, Arthur?
I actually feel like Rupido is going to enjoy on this lane. Wraith King, when he gets more level on the Vampire Spirit, he should be fine as well. I think it's all about Febby feeding him enough of self to keep him healthy on this lane. As long as both cores are healthy. Oh, look at Lucify. No healthy for you, Young God. Instantly cancel the self.
Very, very nice there from Lucify as Febby. Go for a bit of a stack, but he's going to be there to just kind of block the stack happening. Very nice from this Weaver. And I guess it's another reason why Weaver's such a strong support, right? Like, even in the laning stage, you can just kind of do everything. You go block camps, you go cancel salves like that, and Weaver, it seems like too much of a support right now. This hero is too strong.
Yeah, not a lot of supports can really do what a Weaver can. Probably a Monkey King that can match his activeness here. But talking about active, Carlo looking to fish a arrow here.
See if he can land one. Bit of an awkward angle, right? Because you are going to have vision on the arrow from the tower, but you might not see it in time, and no, never mind, it's off the mark. JG, he might lose his courier, and he does, so Carlos still gets something for his trouble. But JG, he did manage to get his Null Talisman off the courier before it went down, so maybe not so big of a loss here for the Void Spirit.
Yeah, it's quite convenient for him, to be frankly, because Carlo, he's just here for the water rune. Okay, never mind, maybe more than that.
The Remnant, not going to lock him down, but they do deny it off. Very nice. It's JG now in big trouble. The Cold Snap and the body blocks from this Forge Spirit doing a lot of work, forcing them to dissimulate, but now Carlo, he's in and Yoe, he'll pick up the first blood on the Invoker. That was really nice plays with those body blocks and that Forge Spirit. You just love to see it.
Yeah, very high skill play coming from Yoe. Grandmaster tier Invoker, by the way, you haven't touched about this, but when Yoe first entered the scene, he's already known as the young Invoker prodigy player. He's one of the most famous one in Philippines, so we are starting to see here now. And with him going for Exalt, I believe you're gonna see more beautiful plays like that.
Lucify is here to try and slow him down a little bit, but again, as the Weaver, I was talking about how strong this support is, but not so great in these kind of circumstances where you need to help out your mid lane. You can't do too much here. As it looks like Febby's actually going to stick around and just keep haunting JG. Just make sure he never feels safe and kind of threaten the Nightmare Arrow, even though Carlo is not around right now on the Mirana. He'll just stay. He's more than happy to just stick around. And, well, speaking of the devil, there's Carlo moving in now on the Invoker, and you can kind of feel how scared JG is on this Void Spirit. He definitely does not feel safe.
Yeah, if you look at his vision as well, he has none. Very good job by Bane coming in to put down the 2 sentries on left and right.
Wait, the Remnant off the mark. They are still chipping away. Yoe getting a little bit low, but still just trying to fight back as Lucify now dropping himself. JG trying to move in, but a nice nightmare there from Febby to block the way as Lucify. He has still been targeted down, though Febby now the one in danger, but they're all going to walk away. And it's a bit of a fiesta in the mid lane now as we have 6 complete heroes.
Yeah, this is the thing about when you are the first one to step foot on the enemy high ground, you are forcing them to react to you. And this is really good. Oh, Febby, he might fall here.
Yeah, he gets caught out. Very nice kill there from JG. Lucify giving the vision, but now Yoe might still find a trade. Oh, one more hit from that Forge Spirit, but the Roshan, no Sunstrike. It won't matter. Yoe, he got the vision with the Sunstrike for the Forge Spirit.
Beautifully done by Yowie. And because everything was happening, right, the two supports were forced to rotate to the mid lane. That's why if you look at bottom, Bok is having a fantastic time right now. 47 last hit compared to the Tiny with 30. And this Necrophos is about to hit a very big timing with double bracelet and also hood. All of a sudden, you are not so afraid of the mass magical damage coming out from UDV. So very good itemization here.
What about Young God though? Yeah, he's gonna drop. Rupido able to take the kill as Febby. He tried with the Nightmare, but it was not enough. And while Bok's having a great time, it seems like this DK is having just as good of a time as now they've got Febby. And without that Nightmare, chances are he cannot survive through this. He'll try to run. Rupido, he'll get the last hit though. A double kill for the Dragon Knight, and even another TP cancelled here for TNC.
Yeah, I believe Bok was the one that wanted to TP, but realized it's a little bit too late. Young God is still coming back to this lane because you definitely don't want to give this tower as free. Right now in this patch, everyone is so inclined to defend towers. And because Bok just used one TP in front, in their vision, I believe, if UDV was paying attention, they should know that Bok does not have a TP.
Well, things will slow down a little bit. Looking back at Bok, he's still having a fantastic time with this Necrophos, but again, is now slightly behind that DK. As he just did get a double kill, to be fair. Still uncontested here on this Necrophos, as well, Ken is struggling quite a bit to farm up. Only about 3k net worth on this Tiny so far. It's a bit of a slower game so far for Ken, though he is doing his absolute best in dire circumstances. I suppose just nothing they can do. Like, Bok can just keep sitting there, keep hitting creeps, and there's no way you can kind of force him out unless you see some big rotations from UDV.
Yeah, for UDV side, the only one that would like to take a roam to the side lanes is really the White Spirit, but because of how much he got shut down in the mid lane by Yowie and the two supports of TNC, he wants to recover right now. And if your mid lane wants to recover the side lanes, nothing much they could do.
Chase is on Carlo, not able to finish off Ken, nor was Yowie. But it seems like they're setting up for the bot tier 1 tower push now, as you've got a double damage rune still active on Yowie. At least for a little bit longer. They might go for an early trade on those tier 1s on the side lanes as Teehee. He's going to get caught out and he'll cop the Reaper's side. Bok not playing around, right into the kill. And both tier 1s on the side lanes are going to end up dropping.
Very cool rotation here coming from Yowie. Normally you don't see this on top lane. Young God?
Yeah, he's got reincarnation this time, but he's going to lose his first life. We'll see if he can try and turn around onto JG or Lucify. JG has been stunned up. He's actually got no step charges right now, but he's still fine to walk away as Febby is trying to move in for the Nightmare, but he can't get in range. He's so close yet so far as JG is going to keep trying to dissimulate out. Sunstrike, it's off the mark. And it seems like TNC, they're going to have to leave this one be as they just are not able to set up and punish this Void Spirit.
Oh, they really wanted it. If only Febby was level 5. With the 3 levels of Nightmare, he would have gotten him. But alright, there was still a big rotation for us here from TNC. So I think UDV can be happy about that, especially with Void Spirit getting out alive. This is where JG is all eyes on you. You need to make some move for your team, because if you're not moving, no one else can really do that. The Tiny wants to farm right now. Grupido doesn't really want to move around from this top lane. He wants to stay here and farm towards his dagger. So unless JG make a move, otherwise I believe you're going to see a pretty stagnant gameplay coming from UDV for the next 2 or 3 minutes. And for on the other side, TNC, they're definitely looking to push their advantage here with the 2 supports.
Let's see what they can get done. In Carlo, for now, he's going to hang around the top lane and keep that farm going. With Young God, right into that triangle, pretty standard stuff. Bok just making sure the bot lane is constantly forced in on this Necrophos. UDV, like you mentioned, they're looking to play the slow game right now. Though they do have a smoke out. JG and Teehee, seeing if they can find anything. May run into Bok, but he's not an easy target to take down. They'll even leave him be. I think they realize they can't deal with the Necrophos at the moment. That'll be about it.
Always the target.
Maybe Yowie. Make the jump in. Ice Blast is out. Aether Remnant does connect. It's perfect. Perfect initiation here from UDV. But I suppose at least he got the Midas on Yowie before he dies. The Febby.
Oh, that's pretty big for Febby.
Sunned up. Rupido. I don't think he's got enough damage here. Not without JG. And now Bok's moved in. He's got Reaper Scythe available, so if they want to commit, perhaps they can. Though it doesn't seem like Young God is interested in getting involved. So Bok, not going to be able to really kill off this DK. Just able to force him away from the jungle for a little bit.
I like this itemization coming out from Voice Spirit. View of Discord. Something that we don't really see so much, but is really cost effective. Give it some mana regen, some stats as well. He understands that this game is all about in and out. He doesn't get to really throw his body in, because as long as he catches one stun, he's probably dead from the Reaper side and also Sunstrike. So playing this long range poke with the View of Discord plus the Ice Vortex coming for AA, that's a lot of magic amped.
Power runes being fought over, but it's down at the bot rune spot. I do agree with the point you made. I mean, considering how bad of a start JG had, that cost-effective kind of item in the Veil does just seem incredibly impactful, though. As I say that, Febby, gonna set up for a nightmare. You've got the Fiend's Grip if you need it as well, but they may not. They'll commit the Reaper Scythe and the Fiend's Grip, just in case. They are not willing to risk JG getting away this time, or they'll continue punishing this Void Spirit.
Oh, the Tumbler's Toy on Bane, man, you love to see it. One of the best neutral items that you can find on Bane. I would argue that if you don't find a Finish Stone, you might want to stay on this Tumbler's Toy.
Very nice indeed. I mean, it used to be the Keen Optic, right? But now the Tumbler's Toy just seems even better. Carlo could be a... Nah, he's going to leap away. He's fine. I guess it's the one thing with the support duo of UDV, right? Like with Weaver AA, you don't really have a stun. So it doesn't feel like they can really do anything without, say, Rupido or somebody else getting involved.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest weakness of their draft right now, because they are forced to pick this AA against the Necroforce. So you are giving up a lot of synergy between your two supports. And if you look at TNC, Bane and Mirana, they can always just move together as a one unit. And JG, Tumbler's Toy is gonna come in.
Oh, it is, Febby. In range with the tumblers into the arrow, but do you have enough to finish him off? Not quite. You need that extra little bit of jazz, I suppose, to kill off JG here now, and he's going to be able to survive. But my god, it's just so scary for the poor Void Spirit. One Nightmare plus two other heroes, and you're basically just screwed. So they'll smoke up. Into the mid lane they go, Bok. They're waiting, but it seems like Bok's read the movement. He's going to back off into the tree line. Ken even going to try and bait them in here on this Tiny, but it's not going to work. Bok's not falling for it. Or are they? Stun is there. Ice Blast to follow. They might have him, Bok. He's going to try and survive, but I don't think so. Not with that Ice Blast. Instead, the Young God going to move through, but the arrow, it went right through two of them. It went right through the middle. And TNC, they might just have to leave. As UDV, they look ready to fight again, and that's a big jump in. Rupido finding Febby right off the bat, even forcing out the buyback from Bok. And it just seems very messy now from TNC.
Oh, that was a big cost to expend the buyback there from Bok. UDV did a very good job in recognizing that, instantly back off. So very good decision making here. And so far, look at UDV, they are all spread out to the all the lanes. Lucifer is the top lane pushing it out. Bottom side JG is also pushing it out as well. So it is limiting the options that TNC can do right now to kind of salvage from this buyback of Bok. And which is why they settle for just farming engines. They have a huge engine stacks to farm though, so they're not, at least they're not losing some farming efficiency here.
I hate to point this out though, Young God did end up losing his reincarnation to taking these stacks, so I'm not sure how much that matters. You know, he might just ignore any team fight for the next 2-3 minutes, but a bit unfortunate as mid lane Carlo immediately just bursted down. Another great initiation here from our DK, and it's so hard to avoid the initiation once the Dragon Knight's in that melee form. Just instantaneous, and well, now TNC, they're on the back foot, and it seems like UDV, they're not going to slow down anymore.
Yeah, UDV, they definitely want to bring down this tower. It's long overdue. It's just that Tiny, if you look at the minimap, he's quite far away from the tower though, so this might be a slow one. And knowing this, I think if TNC sees that there's no Tiny here, they probably want to take a fight.
Question is, can they though? Like, no Mirana? No reincarnation? I mean, they've got to try, surely.
Maybe get a quick Q and get out? I guess we'll see. They know that Ice Blast is down right now, so if they want to defend it, they can maybe poke, because the tower is still quite healthy. And if the Tiny is not here, you don't want to give this away.
Well, at least for now, they won't have to, because UDV, they do back off. It seems like they're ready to go again onto just maybe a single pick-off here, though. They'll take over the Dire jungle. The TNC looks like they have to play a bit more passively for now. And UDV will take the time to allow Ken to keep escalating on that net worth board. Currently at the top on this Tiny. There's Yoe. I mean, he'll show up at the top lane and address the creep wave, but it does seem like UDV are in complete control of this game so far. It's Carlo. He's spotted by Lucify. They don't have the jump in though, so Carlo should be able to leap away this time. He'll be okay.
It is so hard right now for UDV. I feel like TNC, they recognize that, alright guys, this is where UDV, they're eager to fight. Let's not give them any, opportunity for them to keep fighting, which is why everyone just split up. You see Invoker on the top lane, Wraith King on the bottom side. They understand that if this game goes late, they will always have the advantage, because Invoker is the strongest hero here in the late game. So they're taking things slow, and this is where UDV struggles a little bit.
They're trying to force a fight maybe mid lane as the tier 1 tower is slowly being chipped away out here by Rupido. TNC, they're hanging around, but it's a very hard tower to defend here against the Dragon Knight, so instead Bok will go for a nice little cheeky deny on the tier 1 mid. It's about the best they could have asked for, but now the map opened up. UDV, they want to keep going. Problem is they don't really have a target they can aim down right now. Lucify has been getting plenty of vision in that triangle, but it may eventually cost him as Bok. He's going to find him. I was just trying to bait him in with that courier, but Lucify, he's seen enough. He'll leave the area, and props to him on the Weaver. He almost denied that courier and that Desolator away from our
Mike, Lucify?
Yoe. Alright, never mind, he's gone, and now the jump is in. Carlo, he's there with the arrow set up onto the AA. You might still lose Yoe, or maybe not. He's got the Ghost Walk in time, and Rupido, well, he's going to try to run, but there's no running. How the hell does that happen?
Oh, that's a classic hide and seek coming from the Weaver. He ran all the way from the bottom triangle to where Yoe was farming, and there was just a random observer was seeing him there. And Bok with the clutch 3% on the A. Saved his life there.
Now Ken. I'll try and move in. Leave Febby. He used that Tumbler's Toy and kind of went the wrong way, I think, and couldn't get the Nightmare Fiend's grip off. A bit unfortunate there for Febby. Just trying to jump up the staircase. Still, again, a very close game between these two as Lucify going to move back into that Dire jungle, but doesn't feel quite as safe as he used to. And I don't quite blame him. He's a bit safer now. The TNT kind of showing that they can certainly fight back in the right circumstances. The UDV, they're still going to force it. Bok, he's going to be the target. They've got the Ice Blast. They've got plenty of damage. Bok, he'll try to survive. It's not looking good, though. Even with the Ghost Shroud, he is still going to drop as they're going to try onto the Weaver. And, well, young God, we'll give him the one shot. It's still a very good trade for UDV, though.
Oh, Yoe don't know. Does, guys?
Oh, Avalanche is there. They've got the Cold Feet, but the Nightmare might buy a bit of time, but not quite enough as they do get the Fiend's grip on the Tiny, but it's a mess again. TNT, they're all over the place with this fight. They've lost the first life from their Wraith King. Young God, he should be safe for the second. Oh, but a bit of a mess there. Yoe just getting caught with his pants down, and, well, he ends up paying heavily.
It's fine. This was a useless kill.
Yoe with the voice line. Oh, UDV though. Can they turn this into a Roche? Oh, they certainly can with the Tiny. This is gonna... It's not gonna be the quickest one, but it should be able to, knowing that Yoe and Bok, they're not up yet. So very good decision making so far coming up from UDV. They play around the observer wall on the hill very well. And I'm surprised that it's not getting deworked by Febby.
Absolutely. So with that, a free Roshan for UDV. And eventually TNC do get the vision with the Sunstrike, but it doesn't matter. It's way too late. So can be careful. Febby's waiting. He doesn't have Fiend's grip, but maybe you could still try to move in. It feels like they need a +1 for this Tiny right now, and well, they've got Carlo, they've got Febby, but they've got nobody else to really pump out the damage, so Ken's gonna be fine. They'll just hide on the tree line.
Just look at the tiny itemization. You can tell that he really wants to win. BKB first before the Shadow Blade. He understands that he needs to be the body for his team. He needs to come in early this time to contribute to the fight. Because the last game you can tell that he has had enough on the Morphling. He tried to fight, it's just not enough damage. And this time, he's not gonna wait anymore.
Here we go. Top T2 tower, gonna drop very, very quick here for Ken. TNC is still kind of responseless right now as they are just trying to build up onto Young God, who's trying to work towards his own BKB on this Wraith King, and I can't quite blame him. He certainly needs that magic immunity. Even Yoe going for a bit of a Blink Dagger build up here on this Invoker, so maybe feeling like he needs that instant mobility. This is fair enough. Not going for anything else, just wants to be able to jump in and maybe just pick off a support on the backside with that Orchid up.
Yeah, a little bit of mobility is definitely what he needs. This Invoker, if he wants to carry this game, he needs to be flashy. He needs to be able to jump in and out to be a nuisance in team fight. Not getting Dragon Tilt and just instantly burst down. I think something like a Dagger Lincolns could be something that he can consider as well. Because I feel like this is the kind of game that you get stunned one time, you're just gonna die. So I don't know if you're able to even pop BKB if you get one stun by Dragon Tail.
Febby running right past the Weaver. Does place a sentry down now, but the scan is out on UDV. They are rushing towards that bot lane. They want the fight. They realize how strong they are at the moment. They're not going to get much. But they will happily take Febby's life. That'll be about it. I mean, UDV. They might try to find somebody else in this triangle. The Bok was about to move his way in, but he'll just leave. And now, I mean, with this Void Spirit Ags up on JG, things could get even harder for TNC. But that silence is just so impactful.
They definitely have a lot. Sorry?
No, go. I was just going to say, see what UDV gets up to now.
Seems like it's just gonna go for this tier 2 tower right now. TNC, they need to think about the defense. I was just looking at AA, he has a view of Discord as well. So we got double view of Discord coming up from UDV. I don't know if this was intentional, but it feels like he could have built into something else. So, not too sure about this.
Well, you know the core mantra, it's always the support's fault, never the core's, so... Teehee, you gotta take the blame, Teehee. Be a man about it. So,
this is what GG says, yo, I built this first, you know, you saw this already. It's very similar to how you sometimes in pubs you see two players building Earn. Oh, Yoe.
Oh boy, Yoe. Gonna blink away, but JG's in. Silence is there. They're gonna lock him down. Arrow, though, is actually gonna land an illusion to Yoe. He's still in big trouble and he's gone. They even found Carlo. So UDV, that's a big pickup onto that Invoker. What can they get out of this? What objective can they aim for?
It seems like the lines are getting drawn. Mid lane is the only tier 2 that is remaining here, so I guess it's pretty simple for UDV right now. After this tier 2, they have to start thinking about high ground. They have to start thinking about the items, how they are going to attack this, how they are going to create the opportunity for them to finally hit high ground. Because if you look at TNC 0, they are fantastic when it comes to high ground defense, especially with the Invoker. So if they are able to find the Invoker outside of his base, that would be the best scenario.
T2 just melts. No chance whatsoever of survival for that tier 2 as UDV. They want to try and force high ground with this Aegis. Still 40 seconds left to go. They pop the drums and they'll move in. It's going to be I was going to say a difficult defense, but the glyph seems to be enough to force UDV back. They're not going to risk too much. They'll play it very conservatively. And I mean, they've got a 6k net worth lead. So it's not crazy, but you certainly don't want to throw it back the way of TNC. That's fair enough. I'm wondering at this point, Arthur, what can TNC do to try and force this game back their way?
Oh, they have to wait for the BKB on Wraith King because it's the only jump here that they have. The only reason why we haven't seen TNC make a move together is because they are lacking of a initiator. And when your Wraith King jumped in without the BKB, it's gonna die instantly, so you don't want that. Which is why they are waiting for a BKB as well. Now that it's up, they are ready to make a move. The only thing is, they have no vision whatsoever. So they are smoking in blind right now. They kind of have to guess where UDV are. which is hard.
Ken showed the bot lane for a moment, but instead they're going to run towards the northwest. TNC, they are looking very lost right now as to which way they go. Lucifer was the only target up the top lane, and they're not going to be able to get that, so instead they might have to just settle retaking their outpost. Hoping for the next Roshan, perhaps. Maybe trying to force a fight there instead, but they are unable to get anything out of this big smoke. And it seems like UDV are going to group up.
This is where you're starting to see the experience coming out from TNC kicks in. When you can't find anything with the smoke, you can always go back to reclaiming some of the objectives and plant vision, because this is where UDV is gonna like, maybe it's time for us to make a move. But then, little do they know, they're running into an area that TNC are very prepared.
They certainly are. They've got the vision down. They're ready. UDV not biting the bait, though. Not trying to rush in. Not yet, anyway. They do scan out into their own triangle. See if they are hanging around there, but that is not the case. So UDV now should know that they are completely northwest of the map. But they're also being very patient, not giving that advantage over. And look at TNC. They're literally just standing there. They're literally just standing there.
Hey guys, you guys, is the internet okay? it could be them disconnecting, right? But yeah, they're just patiently waiting. I think for Febby, it's his perspective right now is probably looking at the other lanes to see if there's anyone using any spells on the lane. So patient is a battle of patience. And UDV though, look at them. They're running into the area of TNC.
They're split up now. They're missing one member from TNC, so they're going to try and move in onto this wave and try to burst him down ASAP, and they've got him. But now how do you get everyone else out? Febby immediately in trouble and immediately just bursted down. As Bok, he may be able to avoid the Ice Blast, but no, it does connect. It just won't matter. He'll TP away. They'll be happy with that. A 1-for-1. In fact, make that a 2-for-1 as Teehee does get caught by Young God. And so TNC, it's not the greatest fight, but it's certainly a start.
Yeah, for sure. I think their maneuver definitely helped them a lot, right? Oh, Pedo!
Jump in. They have made the jump in, and they've got your way down already, but Young God now trying to make a run away. Reincarnation is still available, but he's going to lose it. They've got to help him out. Arrow, though, does land on the Tiny. Maybe that'll buy a bit of time, but not quite. Young God. He is melting real quick. He'll pop that BKB. Baby to jump in with a Nightmare, but no, Young God. Just getting swiped by Ken's tree. And now Febby. He'll be the next to drop as a triple kill comes out for Ken. And it seems like at this point you could certainly try to force buybacks.
Oh, Young God was too greedy with the BKB. He didn't pop it as soon as he revived from the reincarnation. And he just ate another stun, and all of a sudden, he was brought down to 20% HP, and that time BKB is not useful anymore. Sometimes you can't look for this very efficient BKB usage. You just have to pop it sometimes.
Certainly. Now you're gonna lose this mid-Rax, and again, you do have buyback on Young God if he wants to commit it, but it seems like with the state of the game and the way it's going, you'd rather not. Ken will take down the mid-Rax. That might just be enough. UDV, they won't go too much further. It's one Rax advantage, climbing in that net worth lead. It's very conservative play, but you've got to appreciate it. They are really not giving the openings here for TNC.
Nah, so far this 11k goal lead has been earned very hardly, I would say. It feels like such a hard-earned 11k net worth. They definitely don't want to give it up at all. Which is why we are seeing these very slow maneuvers around the map right now. And TNC, they're doing the exact same thing as well. They are just slowly getting their map control back bit by bit. And they're happy with all these baby steps, which is why a lot of times we are seeing these high-tier Dota teams, they are taking things very slowly. Because they always want to take the fight that are in their advantage.
Oh, top lane. Can they actually get JG? I mean, maybe they can with the Orchid out. Oh, they wasted the Fiend's Grip. They wasted the Fiend's Grip. Febby cancelled off immediately, and that's going to mean his own death now. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. That is very unfortunate for Febby.
Yeah. It's understandable though. Febby thinks that, alright, you got yourself into the fog. Do I still want to chase? Because that seems to be a loss of window. So he wanted to stop, but then Bane's cast range, sometimes hurts you a bit there. didn't get the stop in time, and this means that UDV a free Roshan for them. Sunstray is gonna scout it up, but there's no way they can stop this.
Absolutely not. Aegis and Shards now available with the UDV. Looks like they'll give the Aegis over to Ken, and JG, I believe, took the Shards for himself on that Void Spirit. Down at bot lane, who have they got? Well, they've got Lucify, but he's got the time lapse, so he's going to survive. And now Young God, this time he will not wait for his BKB. He'll pop it immediately and just TP away. UDV, though, knowing that BKB's down, they might be able to try and force something with this Aegis up. And Ken's already rushing across the map, trying to find a target. Still looking.
Maybe.
Very close to the Bane, but not quite. Baby's going to be okay, and it's back to the high ground for TNC. It's back to the patience game.
Like we said earlier, Febby is still holding to the Thunder Toy. It's just one of the items that it gives you so much value. The only thing that's worth trading away is the Philly Stone. Unfortunately, he didn't get that. Philly Stone will be so good in such a low-paced game. Rapido.
Oh, he's alone right here. This is an opening. TNC, they're going to move in. There's your stun out. Arrow will follow up. He did not have time for the BKB to come out, so they finally got something. But here comes the cavalry. It's not over yet. Rapido survived. Now Young God's in trouble. On the Wraith King is Ken. He's got a double already, and he's got Carlo. Onto the Wraith King. Young God. I thought it was an opening, but they got there so darn fast. And this DK somehow is still alive.
Oh, they didn't have Reaper Sight there. It was too bad because Bog was dealing with the wave. He didn't have anything like Force Staff or Dagger for him to get close to his team, so had to let go of the kill. And also, it feels like this might just be game. They're paying the throne. They're paying the tier 4s.
There's no buyback on Young God. You're missing that big pause 1 here for TNC, so UDV, they're onto the T4 towers now. They're still going to try and defend one last time, but they've already got Bok locked down, and with the Ice Blast, there's no chance of survival. Bok, I mean, as good of a lane as he had, it just seems like this AA pick has completely ruined him this game, as Yoe is going to get jumped immediately and taken down. Buyback's committed, but what does it matter? The laughs are coming out. UDV, they'll back off one last time. They'll let Teehee die on this AA. But they'll go for the final lane of Barracks. They'll get the Megas up. And it's not going to take too long either. This Ken still hitting like an absolute truck. JG, yeah, he's got Febby down. Rapido does take the kill for himself. They are still trying their absolute best. Ken, he's got the Aegis up, so he's not afraid of the Reaper Scythe. In fact, Bok should be the one afraid, though he does get the Ghost Red off in time. Reaper Scythe is there. They got GG. In fact, they even found Rapido. This game is not over yet. TNC is still defending. Is Lucify might be able to make it out, and he somewhat does with the time lapse back the other way. But Bok is still chasing. So is Young God. They want every kill they can get. The stun will land. So maybe they've got him this time. And it does seem like they do.
Oh, Ken is going in. Ooh, Ken.
Oh boy, Ken. He does find Bok. My goodness.
Jeez, that is unfair, man. What can you do? Oh, not gonna lie though, that was a fantastic defense. And I'm just gonna say, I was already thinking about my closing thoughts. But then, TNC, they fought right back into the game. So it's not over just yet. It's not over yet. You know, we talk about how their late game still, they still have a very strong late game with the Invoker and Brave King and also Necroforce. So as long as they are able to buy time right now, it's all that is matter right now for them.
Certainly so. It's just, again, it's been such a rough game for TNC. I feel like this Necroforce has been completely nullified the whole game. Well, UDV got to put a little in this game if they can with that final lane of Barracks, but not as easy as they had hoped. And I don't think they'll have time with the Aegis up either.
Yeah, not at all. I feel like this is where UTV might just want to go for last hurrah. Commit your BKB for the Mega Creeps. Because the one thing that TNC is not very good in dealing with is Mega Creeps. Really only Wraith King that can kind of deal with that. Necroforce not really, Invoker not really as well. And they're charging right into the tier 3s.
It's like you said, you can just pop those BKBs, and as long as you have a creep wave, you're going to get through that final lane of Barracks, no problems. Yoe already kind of prepped for this, but he may get caught out. JG waiting for the moment to jump in. Ken does reveal himself now. Backdoor protection still there, but does eventually wear off as now the sun is out. They've got Yoe on the Voka. No buyback available for him. They've even taken down Febby, and it's on to another. As Young God, he does at least find Teehee, but that was his BKB used up, and it's still not looking great for TNC. As Rupido, he just frontlines for the team, just forcing everyone back, and now Bok. He's had such a rough game, and it's not getting easier. GG is called. UDV will force this to a game number 3.
We are getting into game number 3. What a showing coming here from UDV so far. Like game 1, you can feel like they definitely had the fire, right? They just didn't have what it takes to close it out. This game though, once they had the lead, they were never looking to let it go. And I feel like sometimes Necroforce is a very similar hero like an anti-mage. On paper, it does look very good. But when it comes to the practical side, you feel like this hero, it just doesn't give you what a normal offlaner would give. Not the traditional initiation. And also the role allocation here from TNC is a little bit weird because you are running Quas Exalt Invoker, you are running Wraith King that needs a lot of farm, Necroforce needs a lot of farm as well. And they didn't quite itemize towards what they need. There's no dagger or use scepter, anything like that from Necroforce. So the entire game he was quite slow. And because Invoker went for this Quas Exort, he clearly wants to farm. So all of a sudden, when it comes to the late game or the mid game maneuver, they were just lacking of this one big oomph. And if you look at UDV, they have everything. It was very balanced.
Certainly was, Arthur. It certainly was a great game number 2. So we are going to head off to a short break, and right after that break, we'll be back with game number 3 between TNC and, of course, UDV. We'll see you then.